The H2C is here, and it looks to be what Bambu Lab has been building towards since they first released their automatic material system, the AMS. The biggest drawback, and the reason a lot of people avoided multicolor printing, was all the waste. Depending on the print, more filament could be spent on waste than the actual print itself. The H2C is Bambu's attempt to solve this problem with what they call the Vortek system, which is essentially a nozzle changing system. Now, one concern people have is that the system is too complicated and it could be a potential failure point. Well, today I'm going to unbox this printer, do some test prints, and see the Vortek system in action, and maybe you can decide if this printer is right for you. All right, so let's just open this up here. Always check out the instructions first because they have some unboxing advice here. And right on top, it looks like we have our accessory box. We can take a look at this right now. So that looks like the external spool holder. We have our usual toolbox that these printers often come with the extra hot end there. And then this is probably unique to the H2C. This looks like the hot end that gets changed out. It's a little bit different design, and in fact, we have 5 of them here. Different nozzle sizes as well, I'm noticing. And then this looks like some desiccants, some PTFE tubes, and some extra accessories here. So we're just going to continue removing some more of this packaging here. Lift that top off. And now at this point, we're going to remove these clips around the side, and we're going to remove this whole box off the top. Now this whole box should just lift right off. And it's going to make it a lot easier to remove this printer. And now that all this packaging is removed, you're going to need 2 people to lift this one up because it is a heavy printer. Now that the printer's up on the table, you can just remove all the plastic that's still on the printer. So at this point, remove all the red screws on the printer. All of these are just for packaging, so if you see any red screw, remove them. And be sure to remove the ones around the bed because those lock the bed down. So in terms of unboxing, the only difference I'm really seeing between this and the H2D is a few zip ties on the new Vortek system. Other than that, the unboxing procedure is basically the same. And to install the nozzles on the Vortek system, all you have to do is just place them here, and they're magnetic and they hold right on. And you can just fill the whole row here as well as the row underneath. Okay, let's get to the test prints. Now, normally I would print a benchy, and I think this is the first time ever I didn't start with a benchy because this printer, other than the Vortek system, essentially is an H2D. I've unboxed a couple H2Ds by now, and they always print a good benchy. I don't think that would do anything for us right now. One area where it differs is the additional cooling fan. You can tell by this wire right here. So in that aspect, it's more similar to the H2D Pro, which comes with this by default. So I started off with this really cool multicolored print from Nightmare Before Christmas, and it turned out really well. Now, I don't do too much multicolored printing because I don't like wasting all that filament. So it was a really nice treat to print something like this. Now, this print was in several parts. The base of the model, the snowman, and Jack Skellington were printed separately. So it wasn't just one single print. I think the most colors in one print was 4, which is under the maximum of 7 before you have to do, your purging and color changes. So it did print really nicely, but there is one interesting comparison here as well. This little present that Jack is standing on, I printed this on the P2S with just the AMS, and here is how much waste that little piece alone made. Now compare that to the rest of the print, which was all printed on the H2C. That all had practically no waste. It still does one little purge of each color at the start, just I think to get whatever's left in the nozzle out, but really practically nothing. This was quite a shocking amount of filament to waste for such a small print. So it is really cool that you can now print something like this with almost no waste. And this makes me want to do a lot more multicolor printing. So after a successful first print, I wanted to try something big. Now I saw CNC Kitchen did this print and I wanted to try it too. So here was my setup for printing Majora's Mask. If you're printing more than 5 colors, you will need an additional AMS unit because 5 is your limit, and then beyond that you could use even more, up to 25 different colors. So I did the multicolor Majora's Mask. This was 8 colors, so it did have to do 1 filament change, so there was some waste, but overall it didn't waste that much filament. Now this print wasn't without issues. I actually did have a failure several days into the print. but I think that was my own fault. So here's the print that failed, and what the issue was is that it came unadhered from the bed. And I think I should have put a brim on this print. There's not a lot of area here to come in contact with the bed. I definitely should have put a brim on it. For a print that's going for multiple days, you gotta have one. And another issue was I was doing a time lapse with an external camera, so I had the door open to the printer that entire time, which meant inconsistent temperature throughout the print. It was going for 2 days, which means the door was open overnight, the temperature was changing in the building, so it was cycling through hot and cold, so it was bound to fail with all those factors combined. But luckily this prints in 2 halves and only one of the halves failed. So with the ability to cancel objects on the screen, I was able to save half this print. I just canceled this one and continued the rest. And then I went on to reprint the whole second half. And luckily since this has that nozzle changer, there wasn't a lot of excess waste other than the part itself. Now comparing this to an older printer or something that only has the AMS, you would have wasted probably about 2 kilograms of purge waste. Now one bit of waste that these printers still do have is the prime tower, which is necessary to get a good quality print. Otherwise you lose pressure in the nozzle and you get little gaps throughout your print. Now this looks really thick, but it's actually has an interesting pattern inside. It kind of staggers as it prints, which I wanted to cut this one open just to show you what it looks like. So you can see it gets thinner as it rises, so it is not using as much filament at the top. There's much less waste. So I haven't fully assembled this print yet. I lost some time with having to reprint that, but I think it looks fantastic. The print quality is exceptional on this printer. Despite all those color changes, it turns out great. There's no overlap. The lines are very sharp. It has very good quality, and honestly it is staggering to see a print look like this because like I mentioned before, don't do a lot of multicolor prints, and this is the most colors I've ever used in the print. So I mentioned that this print took 2 days, and as a comparison, on a single nozzle printer, this would have taken 4 days. So it did cut the time in half. A lot of the time is because of the filament changes. It still has to unwind and then rewind out the next spool every time you change colors. That is one of the drawbacks of this printer, but it is also one of its advantages because that means you can do more than just 7 colors. You can still do up to 25 colors, and you just have to do some color changes. So having those 7 nozzles to switch between really does save a lot of filament waste and time. And then finally, because it's Christmas time as of recording, I printed this little Christmas gingerbread dragon, and it turned out really nice. And once again, the amount of waste that this would have produced on any other printer, even the H2D, would have been a lot because this is a 4-color print and at least a color change every single layer because the white and brown go throughout. And then with the addition of the yellow and black, it would have been a lot of waste. And this turned out really nice. I always like to do these flexible prints because it tests your bed adhesion, and I assumed it would be good just because it's like the H2D, and it was. This printed very nicely. I printed it, with the door closed, unlike the Majora's Mask, and it stuck very nicely and then came off really easily at the end as well. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there are some people who think this system is too complicated and prone to failure, but I don't think it's really as complicated as it looks. The mechanism on the side is really just moving the nozzles up and down into a fixed point for the tool head to grab them. So another concern people had was the magnetic connection points, which again, that could be an issue in the long run, but the thing is, with any connection point, it is going to wear, and Bambu thinks that the magnets are the best solution to this problem. Now, I think only time will tell whether this is reliable in the long run, but a lot of people had concerns about the H2D being too complicated as well, and I've been using mine since it released in March. I've put over 1,000 hours into it, and it has been exceptionally good this whole time. Barely any maintenance, one of the most maintenance-free printers I've actually had to deal with. So if this was coming from some other company with a bad history, I would be a little more concerned, but this is Bambu Lab, and time again, they've released a really good printer with little to no issues. So I'm confident for now that this printer is pretty reliable. I'm really happy to see that the industry is moving in that direction of less waste, and this printer is a really good example of that. Now, who is this printer for? If you are already familiar with Bambu and like the quality and like the ecosystem, this is a great option. And if you do a lot of multicolor printing and are just tired of wasting, kilograms of filament, this is a good option for you. The H2D was a good step in the right direction, but this one took it to the next level. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, leave a like, consider subscribing, and we'll see you next time.